prestigious event, the ICONN Chandigarh Startup Conclave 2023. ICONN, co-hosted by Chandigarh Administration, marks a significant milestone in the evolution of our startup ecosystem. This event, being the first of its kind, is a comprehensive effort aimed at catalyzing strategic interactions between the corporate sector, startups, fostering corporate startup collaborations, strengthening India's startup ecosystem, and enhancing the international engagement. India's startup culture has undergone a remarkable transformation over the years, fueled by the energy and talent of our youth and empowered by technological advancement. India has seen a surge in entrepreneurial activities. Government initiative, investor support, and incubation programs have further accelerated this growth, providing startups with necessary resources and guidance. India's diverse market and demographic make it a unique testing ground for the innovative solutions. In Chandigarh region, we are witnessing an extraordinary surge in the startup culture, positioning it as a hub for the innovation and entrepreneurship. Its strategic location, coupled with access to skilled workforce from renowned educational institutions, makes this region.
It was a job that was given to me at the age of 22 when I lost my father. I come from a very big millionaire family from Ludhiana, but when life hit, we were left on the road with not a support, any support from anyone. And today I'm very glad that we didn't get that support. At the age of 22, I was made the managing director of the company with a 25 crore debt on my head. And now I believe maybe startups are better, at least they start on ground zero. I started with a 25 crore debt on my head with 45 court cases against me. That's how I
to extend a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries to ICONN Chandigarh Startup Conclave 2023. Together, as we all have gathered here, I would like to talk about ICONN and what it truly stands for. CII conceptualized a special initiative, that is ICONN, the Industry Connect platform for startups, to create a platform to facilitate engagement between corporates and startups through a stakeholder engagement framework. ICONN is a first of its kind industry 360 exercise, aims to catalyze strategic interactions between corporate sector and startups and other key stakeholders to create an integrated, inclusive, and a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem in the country. ICONN has over 1,000 corporates, over 5,000 startups incubated
via innovation. This means we move to design thinking, to think sensory appeal, to think the concept of consumption and enhancing the value in packaging. India is weak in a number of these dimensions because we have historically placed price distribution, efficiency, and market capitalization ahead of creativity, business models, and brand value. Our social sectors, mainly health and education, require huge investments. Infusing technology in both these sectors thus would provide the legs to sprint not just to emerging markets but developed ones as well, since every country is today grappling with the same problems. Not a new concept as sole proprietorship and partnership is still the business model taught in business schools to the freshly minted students. The only difference is most startups today are techno-enabled. Therein lies their strength and also the weakness.
I will revitalize unsuccessful ventures. This holistic approach nurtures innovation, fostering an environment where resilience drives alongside growth. It's imperative to shift our focus from idealizing startup narratives solely based on valuation. Instead, prioritizing the creation of startups that truly offer.
Currently, we are into due diligence and valuation. So that's about it. I head the India operations for Amtram Capital. We are based out of Atlanta City. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sahil Makkad. I am a Chartered Accountant profession and also an Indian School of Business alumni. So right now I am Chairman and CEO of Punjab Angels Network. we help startups, businesses to scale up. And so we are trying to create the right kind of entrepreneurship ecosystem in this region by giving them a complete hand development.
Thank you, Sahil. Request Mr. Iqbal Singh to introduce himself.
Thanks. Myself is Iqbal Singh. I was part of HDFC Bank, starting team member when we started the private banking in 1999, and then I was head north for Citibank, and in 2004 I left Citibank and started this venture called.
Are there for the skill set. You need to understand what is your business requirement at what point of time. If you are a company who is doing very well in economics and being profitable, but now you want to raise the share in the market in terms of the market share capturing, you need a branding person, you need a CMO at that point of time. I mean, you might not be the best person in your sales table, and that's perfectly fine. The problem is that a lot of time when we build a company, it's for a founder to his company is like a love at first sight, or a child's born to a mother. So basically, we stop seeing all the bad things or any negatives in that business altogether, and we think that we are the best person in the room. Now that is a very smart example and a very common mistake that everybody does. We need to come out of that I know better than everybody. Everybody has a particular skill set. You need to understand what your business needs. It has to be at the end of an unemotional decision. Who to hire, who to partnership, and all this partnership has to be complementary. There is a famous saying that एक मैन में दो तलवारें नहीं रहती. Businesses में तो बिल्कुल नहीं रहती. वो तो बात भी नहीं कर सकते. Because what if you have a conflict within the founders? You have find conflict. What if that in a board you have a conflict? How do you manage that? How do you place a very airtight corporate structure where everything is defined? This is the conflict management. This will rule in this case. He will rule in this case. She will rule in this case. And you have a complete autonomy as well as balance of checks and balances.
So for corporate structure, can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Like how would you want to talk about? Are you talking about
also sitting here? And sometimes, people differentiate between startup, where the definition is they will grow exponentially. Whether we talk about top line, and nobody is going to talk about top line now, because the cost of fund, again, I'm just going to share with you, it's a very, very interesting fact. In last 1 year, if you see that world over, because of high inflation, the cost of fund has gone up substantially very high. For an example, I just want to share with you, last year the repo rate was 4%, and today the repo rate is 6.5%. And world over, I'm getting a lot of cases from Australia, from US, and from.
So that's the best mode, and bootstrapping. So this is like the basics, and then obviously I will pass on to Kunal for further.
Maybe I'll just add a point. So we actually think
So you would have apprehensions in your mind, and after 6 months, if you think that you've invested in a wrong company, then what are the checks and balances and the exit route that you have in place? And is there things that you need at your end, the ecosystem to be built, that you take the right decision while selecting startup? So I would want to understand the other side of the story.
Okay. So firstly, anybody investing in startups has to understand that their probability of losing all the money is also 99%. So we don't do it with the money we need to keep food on the table. We do it with the money we are willing to lose. So it's like the blind bet you do on a...
Food that I'm asking people to eat is based on guidance, but what I provide them is wheatgrass and probiotics. And I'm doing it for the past 10 years. But the point where I get stuck is logistics, because I need to move in a cold chain. And that's what is troubling me, because the idea is amazing. Whosoever comes to my workspace, to my studio, and sits and talks to me for an hour is all ready to go in for the plan. He takes the plan, joins me for 2 months, and the healing process begins. And the next day is the day when he hasn't taken his pantoprazole. Since I wanted to make pantoprazole a word, I didn't want doctors to be here. So we are trying to help people get off their medication, reverse their diabetes, help them while the cancer is going on. The question is, how can someone help me with the logistics so that I can move parallel?
Do those things, because then failure is not an option, and if you accept what's the worst case that can happen, your startup will shut down. But if you enjoy doing whatever you're doing, you're not working a single day, and the willingness to fail will give you the strength to succeed. But you can only do it if you're really motivated from deep inside, not by some external factor which comes and goes. This is all I want to say for all budding entrepreneurs, or if you ever want to be one. Secondly, funding is not a sign of success. The best businesses are built, and I'll answer the first question you had asked me. The best businesses in India, which are the best two startups of India? Zerodha and Zoho, in some sense. They never raised money. They bootstrapped, took them 20 years to get the $1 billion sales or $1 billion valuations. And they don't care about valuations. If you're putting enough value in your business, if you give everything enough time, things fall in place. But just make a sustainable model. In an ideal world, you do not want to raise. Start building a business which can work as a business. Initially, like Nitika said, brings money from friends, family, your own savings, etc. After that, build the business, try to make it profitable ASAP. Do not rely on raising from someone to make your business work. Because let's face it, 99% startups do not raise money, and out of the 1% that raise, 99% will still shut down in 2 years after raising also. So money is not the problem. The problem is the product market fit. Do you have the right problem? Are you
from 0 to 1, from 1 to 100? Who do you take money from? Who do you take mentorship from? There's enough money available in the market today. Enough. If the government doesn't help you, angels help you. If angels don't help you, what do you need money for? Like, I don't know. So you have to first figure out what you need money for, right? So it's a very, there is no way that you can say no, that I did not get support. Absolutely none. I started my first company with Sir sitting over there, and that gentleman over there who now runs a multi-million-dollar agri company over there. So we started our first company and we got zero support. We had no idea where to raise money from. We didn't even get those 3 lakhs that the government gives, or the money with the Chandigarh government gives. We got nothing, and yet we were able to take it from up to a point, and when we realized ki thoda mushkil hai. But today, if I had the opportunity to do it again, if I was 15 years younger, right, I would have at least, aankhein band karke I would have done it. So there is absolutely nothing which is going to say no.
A mega project, that is the only project of the Government of India in the domain of agriculture and water. So this project is presently being executed at IIT Ropar. It takes care of the entire nation for cyber physical system development for these 2 domains. And I then take care of some administration, as has been said by Matt. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. So I am Nitish Singla. I am presently holding the charge of Director Industries UT Chandigarh. So I am going to talk about the initiatives which the Chandigarh Administration has undertaken or is undertaking about the growth of the startups. So basically I am focusing on the startup policy per se, or about the whole ecosystem scenario, about the growth of the industry in Chandigarh. What steps we are taking about, I am going to talk about in a minute or 2 about these things. University, there is a University Business School in Punjab University, then there is ISB Mohali. So if we talk about the potential which we have to grow in the startup domain, then we have got a huge potential. So what is required to nurture this potential, and in this segment, the government, the Chandigarh administration can play a huge role. So I had a discussion with a few SMEs as well in the morning, in which they are saying that the nearby areas of Chandigarh like Punjab, Mohali, Zirakpur, or in fact for that matter Haryana, they are doing a great job.
So when I started, when I came back to India, I wasn't aware of this kind of ecosystem existing here in Chandigarh. And I started sort of going out and about in June last year to sort of figure out ki kya ho raha hai, market mein kya hai. I think TIE was the first event I ever attended, unka jo annual event hota hai, and that's where I met Som. And I remember that he might not, because that was kind of where my trajectory started. Usse pehle hi I had started working on my idea in January. I put in my own money and everything. So 6-7 months I spent to build my own prototype and everything, because I thought that is how it's supposed to be. You bana lo kuch and then go and discuss with people what's happening, what you're bringing out to the market. And from there I figured out, I don't know how the experience is of other startups here, but Mera particularly has been great in the sense it has been more of an inward, where people have come to me and said, this is what we are offering, would you like Are you interested in that? And I think the only thing that you have to say is yes to everything that comes initially. Not later on maybe, but initially when it comes to you. So Som came to me, and I think Innovation Mission Punjab was starting with its first cohort. And I was lucky enough to get into that, although I was pre-revenue then. And again, for someone like me who had no idea ki startup chalta kaise, I had an idea, I knew business karna hai, but I did not know the nitty-gritties of how you make a pitch, how you actually go and talk to the market, how you do the business modeling and everything. Mujhe ye words bhi nahi pata the. I was there. So that is when I started with Innovation Mission, and starting of the Innovation Mission is when I came in touch with IIT Ropar as well. So Pushpendra sir, there, he might have gone through my pitch and he liked the idea, and we connected from there, and that's how I came in touch with IIT Ropar also. And then I have been connected with STPI here. Right now my office is in Punjab University, so university is helping me there. So in terms of the support that I have received, government support has been the best. And currently mera market jo up, there has been a change in the perception where I was thinking ki private institutes are where I will be serving the most. But it has changed a bit where I'm feeling the industries and government institutes are where most demand for the things that I'm offering there is. So I think what I want to say in a nutshell is government initiatives are hugely underrated here. And if we actually go out and about and think ki kya available hai, itne sare funds hai, you can easily bag 50-60 lakhs just through the funds and government funds I'm saying, I'm not even talking loans are way higher. But 40-50 lakhs tak to sirf funds hi mil jate hai if you're able to actually tap into all the government schemes there are. With the support of incubators, of course, because without them you would not know how to actually put your thing in the market.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. I know that it is going to be one of the biggest incubator in India. And then I started learning from the incubator, various stakeholders in the ecosystem. Infrastructure to ready hai, but how I can make it vibrant and how I can make it more sustainable for the startups. So 2 or 3 things that I added is, so first thing, we had the data center in our building. So we thought that we will create a focused thing, that we want to create a center of entrepreneurship in artificial intelligence.
The institute do certain things for the students which just promote startup culture and make them entrepreneurs. So they are after us. And then government policies. I was connected with the Chandigarh policy, and I remember the passion. Mrs. Arkunjit was passionate about her policy. आज तो meeting में हो जानी चाहिए. But still, government activism and all those things, blockades. Still, I think they have made a very wonderful policy which will be in pipeline. So government is taking great initiative. All the institutes are expected to do that. We in PEC are of course following the same thing. But let's just go back to the student's ideology. So a student is there in school till 10th. He's studying, he's playing, he's going to the clubs, he's enjoying his debates, everything. The moment he comes to 11th, the parents start their work. If you want to be an engineer, you should be there in an IIT. If you want to be a doctor, you should start from AIMS. If you want to do commerce, SRC should be.
See, as far as defense ecosystem is concerned, there are very few sort of industries over here. And one of my charters is to visit a lot of industries, which I've done. But we may not like it, but the defense technology, big industries, MSMEs and startups are all centered around Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad. We want to develop Chandigarh as a sort of defense ecosystem hub.
जैसे पक्का कामयाब हो गए, कोई चक्कर नहीं है, लेकिन आपको ये नहीं सोचना कि करूँगा या ना करूँगा. और देखो 130 करोड़ पॉपुलेशन में आप लोग 65% यंगों को 80 करोड़ मानते हैं. 80 करोड़ को नौकरी किसी भी सिचुएशन में नहीं मिलनी.
ये लोग सब लकी हैं जिनको मिल चुकी है। अगले में बहुत मुश्किल है कि 80 करोड़ को कहाँ से मिल जाएगी नौकरी। तो बेस्ट ऑप्शन है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, बेस्ट कैरियर है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप। और आजकल गवर्नमेंट आपके सामने ही सारे बोल रहे थे कितनी सपोर्टिव है गवर्नमेंट, है ना। और चाइना से कोविड के बाद सारे लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया, तो फिर वियतनाम और इंडोनेशिया जाएंगे। तो आप लोगों के लिए पूरा पूरा मौका है, गवर्नमेंट साथ है और सब कुछ है। तो इसका आप लोग फायदा उठाओ और इसके ऊपर जंप करो, ये इसके ऊपर काम करो, है ना। तो ये है मेरी आप लोगों से एक बात। और दूसरा मैं सपोर्ट की बात करता हूँ, तो मेरी ना मैंने शुरू किया जॉब 1990 में। 90 से लेके 2000 तक मेरी टर्नओवर सिर्फ 0 से 2 करोड़ हुई, और 2000 से 2007 तक हुई 200 करोड़ जहाँ चंडीगढ़ में। तो मेरे को ना एक दिन बैंकरों ने बुलाया, वो 20 करोड़ की लिमिट दे रहे थे और ताज में बुलाया डिनर के लिए। तो मेरे से एक बैंकर ने क्वेश्चन पूछा, भाई तुमने पहले 10 साल में सिर्फ 0 से 2 करोड़ आए, अब तुम लोग 7 साल में 200 करोड़ पे चले गए, तो ये कैसे पॉसिबल है, पहले क्यों नहीं किया। मैंने कहा पहले मेरे को 2 लाख की लिमिट देने के लिए तुम लोगों ने 2 जूते खिंचवाए और लिमिट नहीं दी, और अब 20 करोड़ की लिमिट देने के लिए विस्की भी पिला रहे। ये समय बदला है और आजकल वही समय है। देखो सपोर्ट में सामने आपके सोमवीर जी बोल रहे थे, सामने सारे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल बोल रहे थे। तो आप इसको मौके को इनकैशमेंट के प्रति ऑनेस्ट होना चाहिए बस, और कुछ नहीं। टेक्निकल कोई जरूरत नहीं, दिमाग की कोई जरूरत नहीं, सिर्फ ईमानदारी की ही जरूरत है। सारे एंटरप्रेन्योर जो भी आप लोग स्टार्टअप हो, इस चीज को ध्यान में रखो, हमेशा ईमानदारी ही पे करेगी। ये शास्त्रों में है कि जो ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य और शूद्र 4 है ना, क्या बोलते गोत्र बोलते जो भी वर्ण, ये सारे गुण होने चाहिए एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने के लिए। क्या बात है। और लेडीज में ये बिल्ट-इन है, लेडीज में ये बिल्ट-इन है। मतलब आप लोग जो है ना, फीमेल जो है ना, वो सबसे बढ़िया क्रिएचर है, बेस्ट क्रिएशन है ऑफ द गॉड। अब इनको भूल जाओ। ये लोग 1 महीना घर से चले जाए, कुछ नहीं होगा। आप लोग 1 हफ्ता जाके देखो घर का क्या हाल होता है। तो अपने आप को पहचानो, आपके अंदर ताकत है।
Very well said. We hear of young startups with you. Sir, उन लोगों के लिए at this stage they are like really young and students. So where, according to you, is the issue of resilience with them? Are they more resilient than our generation or first generation, or is it vice versa?
See, in my view, we cannot put a bracket. The generation is not resilient or less resilient. It all depends on individual. See, resilience is an attitude, it's a behavior. It can be in anyone. It can be in a person of 80 years age. It can be in a student of 15, 16 years also. Right? So that is always there. So if I have to give a very simple definition of resilience which can correlate, resilience in my view is, after spring dekha, you press it, it just bounces back. Sure. So to me, resilience is anything, bounce back from any situation. So if we talk about startups or entrepreneurs, so उनकी लाइफ में they always have am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So नहीं चल रहा है। So हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ complex situations आएंगी। There will be some events, some unexpected events, market fluctuation, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So how do you adapt to that and how do you recover from that? That is the more important. So now coming to your question about students. So I've dealt with many young students who want to be entrepreneurs, and many of them have become, right? And generally they are either in the 4th year, 5th year, and many of them from the premier engineering colleges. So for them, resilience is that they have an idea, but वो सिर्फ idea है at that stage. वो चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा, that depends. कि आपका idea है, is it solving somebody's problem, कोई problem है जिसकी आप solve कर सकते हैं. So we help them navigate and find out कि requirement है कि नहीं है, in the sense कि कोई problem solve होगी कि नहीं. So if they find कि वो हो सकता है, then they move forward. Otherwise they come back into their academics, they take a job and go. So resilience is either way. Another thing, what's like sir said कि कोई ना कोई दरवाजा खुला होगा, so there is always an opportunity. तो अगर startups को भी if they face a event, some unexpected event कि जो सोचा था वो नहीं हो रहा, so there will always be a new opportunity.
I come from a very different sector from all of you here. We are a law firm where one of the first challenges that you face is that under the Advocates Act you are not even allowed to go out and market yourself, right? So first challenge is that, and then general other challenges that everybody's spoken about. But without really starting a gender debate, yes, to answer your question, you do face definitely more challenges as a woman than my counterparts would. Given the domestic issues we have, I started this firm in 2019. COVID happened. We had to keep, running the firm. We had to keep working at clients. I delivered a son who's 2 years old now. I couldn't give up on work at all. Because if I did, I would have lost all my clients, my efforts of 3 years. Although I've been practicing since 2011, so there's a clientele built over a period of many years. You lose out all of that, right? So these are, I think, additional challenges you face on top of the challenges that you otherwise face as a normal startup would. So yes, you have to just keep at it, and I think there is no one straitjacket solution for being resilient.
So from a resilient point of view, I divide that clearly in 3 buckets, right? So one is your company, your startup. Second is your mental behavior or your mental state of mind. And third is your physical body, right? So all 3 have to be going in parallel and be growing, right? So God forbid if let's suppose you have to give up on your company, but if you have a good state of mind and a healthy body, you can bear that shocks. So from a company point of view, how do you have more resilience? So you have to do planning in terms of your finances, so you have good opportunities now for getting funding, grants. So I will not go deep into that, but idea is that can you see 1 year down the line, 2 year down the line, and coming up to that level that what Kima sir was saying at last 100 rupees, I think that should be a very, very last resort.
And probably I'll second what you guys were just talking about. Probably my wife is also playing a good role in supporting me. The reason I'm
Hell
here
yes.
talking,
Oh, hell yes.
probably use it as an opportunity to thank her as well. So that helps in keeping my headspace right. And now I mean, you wanted to ask about resilience, right? So I want to throw light on another dimension where I've seen or observed that a lot of founders they get married to their idea or the concept or probably a solution which they create which nobody had asked for, and then they just put their entire energy, their life, and in a result their family life, they are able to devote time to their family. Their finance goes for a toss, and there's no work-life balance. So my only concern is that founders, they should be able to gauge that when to stop or either when to pivot. So I mean, otherwise you're just pushing against the wall under the disguise of resilience. So that's my